Hello everyone, this is Raku. Welcome to the Salesforce Trailhead video series. In this video, let's go ahead and build the next module, like creating the application in our conference management app. So in this second module, we will create an application, and this will look like this is the application. This will look like the image shown below, which has the sessions tab and a speakers tab. So these are kind of the two objects that we have created in our previous module. So to open your Trailhead Playground, just scroll down and click on launch. It will open your Trailhead Playground, and in here let's create an app. So go back to the Trailhead Playground. Here in this setup, enter tabs. So in the setup, when you look for tabs, we're gonna create two different tabs for our two objects, session and speaker. Select the tabs. And in the custom objects tab, click on new and select the object, which is this session. And we can select a tab style if we want. So the tab style that we can select is like, so as per that, like the trailhead, like we're gonna select the book icon and then say next and click next. So this is basically like what are the profiles which can see, like for now, like we're by leaving everything as default and say next. And in this tab, this is like kind of a pretty important place where, like, if we select this, if we leave everything as is by default, the tab whatever we are creating will be visible to each and every application out there in this org. So what I'm going to do is I'm trying to deselect this option, and I want to make sure that this will be shown only to a specific set of applications, which we will do later. Okay, so for now I'm going to say save. So I've created a tab for the sessions and now one more tab for the speaker. Select the speaker and the tab style as the presenter. Look for the presenter. So next, custom object tab, by default profiles, say next, leave everything as is. And here in this tab, deselect this option so that it is not shown in any of the existing applications, and save. So now you have created two different tabs. Now to show these two tabs, let's create an application. So it means like only our tabs we are going to add to that specific application. So click on app manager. So in the app manager, we are going to create new lightning app. Okay. So in the new lightning app, we can select the app name. The app name we are giving as conference. So this is like a conference management app. The name, app name as conference, developer name as conference. If we want, like we can upload an image. If not, like we can just leave everything as is. So which will, the app launcher will just by default show the first two characters. So CO, then say next. So this is by default we are creating an app, and in this, like just say standard navigation, leave these options as is by default and say next. And available items, so this is the place where we are going to add the two tabs which we have created. The sessions tab, and okay, select this, click to the right, push to the right, so sessions and speakers. Okay, so these are the two tabs that we have selected, sessions and speakers. So now say next. And this is the important stuff, like it asks for which profile should see these kind of this application basically. So for now what we're going to do is we will select a system administrator. So since we have logged in and this is our account, we will be the system administrator in this. So select system administrator, which means like anyone with this profile, like a system administrator profile, can only see this. So if you see in this scenario, there are different types of profiles, which we'll understand later. And these profiles, if they are assigned to a specific user who has logged into our into our organized Salesforce org, they will not be able to see the app that we are creating. Only the Salesforce administrator can see this. Just click on save and finish. So now we have created our Lightning app. So in order to open the Lightning app, click on the app launcher, this icon, and look for the conference app. So this is the conference app that we have created. So select the conference app. So if you see the conference app, we have two tabs, the session and the speaker. Understand that these two tabs basically represent the two objects that we have created in our previous module. Okay, the session object and the speaker object. Now, in this module, we'll go ahead and create some sample data into this. Okay, so for sessions, so right now what I do is like I'll go ahead and create some data. So say new, select some data, the session name. So we can select any specific type of data. So I'm going to say like the session name as Apex Basics. And the session date is something like on 10th of June at maybe somewhere around like 10 a.m. Basics of Apex programming, and it is for beginners. Save. So this is how it looks like. This is one record. So this is a session, and then let's create one more session. And this one, let's see, advanced Apex. Maybe it's also, maybe it's tomorrow at around like 12 a.m. or 11 a.m. And classes, this is for advanced. Save, then click on sessions tab, and the last thing, Java basics. And it is 11th 8:30, and then this is an intermediate session. So if you click on sessions tab, you will be able to see that there are three sessions that we have created. Something similar to that, let's go ahead and create the speakers. Click on new and select the first name as Dan Appleman, and by default leave the email and bio. By default means if you want to fill some data is fine, if not just leave it and save and new. Then the first name is James Gosling, say one more, maybe one more speaker, David. Save. So here in this scenario, we have created three speakers and three sessions. It's not that we you need to create like the same sessions and same speakers, but like just have created three different sessions and three different speakers. So in each scenario, what you can do is you can click on a session. You can go to a session and click on it, Apex Basics or Java Basics or anything, and click on related. So if you click on this related tab, it basically shows you who are the speakers that are associated with this session. So for now we did not associate any speaker with a session. So what we can do is maybe just go ahead and check for the speakers. Also click on any speaker and click on related. So if you click on related, it shows you an option to add a new session here. Okay, so the same is the case with the sessions too. So let's click on the Java basics, and on the related stuff I want to select a new speaker, say new, and search for speakers. So I say JM. Right, I don't see the speaker. So what happens here in this scenario is by default, the search option that we have here is just showing the speaker numbers. It's not showing the speaker name, right? So that's something that we are going to fix now. So even in the speakers, when I go ahead and click on the speakers, so what we're going to do here is we are going to fix these layouts. We will try to make sure that we can select any scenarios and stuff, Java advanced or Apex or anything for these speakers. Any specific session is what we can do. So what we are gonna do here is, since we cannot see the timings also here, and since we cannot see the names when we try to associate a speakers to a session, we can go ahead and associate a speaker to a session. So an example that I can show here is when I go to the speakers, the speaker, let me say that the three is James Gosling. Okay, so let me come to the sessions tab, and on the sessions tab for the Java basics, in the related tab, let me associate James Gosling, which is like a three here. Save. So it just shows the speakers associated with this session, but did not give much information here. So let's change the layouts of this so that we can optimize this stuff. So here, so all we need to do is go back to the setup. It opens up a new tab. So in this setup, click on Object Manager and look for the object that we want to change. So this is a session object I want to customize. So click on the session, and on the session there is something called as a page layout. Okay, sorry, it's here, the page layout. So on the page layout, let's modify this page layout. Click on the session layout, and in here click on the related list, and it will come down to the related list. So which means in a session there are certain related lists which is like a speaker. So if I go back here on this session, the related list is a speaker where I can only see the speaker number. I don't see the speaker name, right? So coming back to this tab, so here if you see this, by default there is only the speaker number which is associated here. I'm going to change it, and not change it, modify this tab so that I can see the name. So click on the gear icon here, or the wrench symbol, and in here you can select Either you can select the speaker first name, or you can select the speaker last name, or anything. So once you select the first name, click on the right side arrow and select the last name. Okay, click on it. Click close, come to the related list. Once again, I'm trying to do that. So select the first name and last name are selected, and I'm trying to remove this session speaker number. Okay, and just say speaker number is what I'm selecting, and I'm just moving the speaker number onto the top. So I have a speaker number, first name and last name, and just click on OK. Sometimes if you don't see the OK symbol, just make sure that you minimize or just hit Control minus, which will reduce the size of your font and everything, and it becomes small, and maybe you will be able to see the OK button. Okay, say OK. Now if you see here on the speakers related list, we will be able to see the speaker number, the first name and the last name, and just save the page layout. And before I save, just understand that we are trying to make sure that on a session object, when we have a related data of the speaker, I'm trying to make sure that I'm displaying some appropriate and meaningful data rather than this meaning number actually. Okay, so save. Okay, the session layout has been saved. Now the same way, go back to the object manager. So in the object manager, click on speaker, click on speaker, click on page layout, and select the page layout name, and click on the related list. And even in here, let's go ahead and edit this stuff. Remove the session speaker number, and let's select a few fields: session name, and the session date, and hit OK. So once these changes are done on the related list, click on save. Once you click on save, go back to the previous tab, or if in case if you are in the same tab and want to go back to our conference management tab, always click on this app launcher icon and just look for your conference app. Select the conference app, and now if you click on the Java Basics, which has an associated speaker, click on related. Now did you see here it shows the speaker number and the first name and the last name, so which is like a more meaningful way of displaying. And even for the speakers, if I go ahead and open the same speaker like the James Gosling, who has a related list here, and in here it shows it he has a session for Java Basics on the 11th of June at 8:30 a.m. Okay, so in this module basically we try to cover a set of creating a conference application, then creating the tabs and making sure that we change the specific page layouts of this tab. So once done, all you need to do is go ahead and click on verify this step. So once everything looks good, we will be getting the points. If not, like it will specify like what is the error that was present in our scenario, so we can go ahead and fix that error. Okay, right now we had achieved like the 100 points, which is like we are good with this. So in this video we have completed this module, and in the next module we'll go ahead and look into the Apex classes. Thank you for watching.